The landing at the Bay of Pigs occurred on April 17, 1961. It ended up being a complete and utter failure, and was an embarrassment to the Kennedy administration. Within a matter of days, the would-be invaders were overwhelmed and captured by Castro's army.
Gun! Gonzalez! Gonzalez, where are you?
I was out at the balcony picking my nose.
You're not normal. First I catch you rubbing your face and touching other boys. And now you're out there picking your nose. The wrong track in life. Do I need to send you to another platoon?
Killing me won't bring back your goddamn money! Gonzalez! No, he was so young! Gonzalez, no! Gonzalez!
Out, aim for the head.
After the incident at the Bay of Pigs, Castro turned to the Soviets for help in defense against the aggressive United States. He had already threatened to respond if the U.S. intervened in Cuba, so Khrushchev supplied weapons to the Cubans for defensive purposes.
The U.S. tried to overthrow me. They attempted to invade my country. I ask you for help so I may properly defend my homeland.
We agree. We shall help you defend against the capitalist threat.
What do you have for us? I need to know.
Advanced military technology and training in modern warfare for your troops.
Woman, toss me a can. Do you have the secrets to nuclears so I may write it down? With my invisible paper and invisible pencil.
We can give you the technology to build nuclear weapons.
We have the technology!
We can make it better.
What is this?
You're a pencil.
A pencil? This is a salamander. I will use its blood as an ink. Let me do my MLA format. Now, please tell me, what is the nuclear secret?
Okay. The nuclear secret is...
I'm waiting! Thank you for telling me that thing I needed to know to build the thing. I never knew it was so simple. You know what I'm thinking now? Mr. Khrushchev's son. Have you ever tasted steel on a cold winter night? Taste of steel. Eat steel, Charles Darwin!
After that, an American U-2 spy plane took pictures over Cuba that revealed a terrifying reality. There were roughly 40 nuclear missiles, each with a payload that would be devastating for an American city. The U.S. had previously been assured that the Soviets had no intention to put missiles in Cuba, but yet, there they were, in black and white. On October 15, 1962, CIA officials realized what they were seeing in the photographs. The next 13 days would be the most unstable moments during the Cold War, a moment where the world was on the brink of nuclear war. This moment would be known to the U.S. as the Cuban Missile Crisis.
These missiles pose a great threat to the U.S. security.
I agree, Mr. President. Are you all right, Mr. President?
Yes, I think it would be best if we blockade Cuba to prevent any further missile shipments. I also think it would be best if we announce to the public our current situation.
The decision to tell the American public about the situation surprised the Russians.
We did not expect the Americans to do this! We have been caught off guard!
And how, Khrushchev?
And how? This is a violation of international law!
And how, Mr. Khrushchev? Castro aided and abetted an invasion of the hemisphere, making him himself an accomplice of the communist enterprise of world domination.
After that moment at the United Nations, the Soviet ambassador of the UN vetoed the vote Stevenson proposed to condemn the installation of the missiles in Cuba. The blockade began on October 24th. The Soviets were initially ordered to rush towards the quarantine line, and they threatened to sink any American ship that tried to deny them passage. U.S. nuclear forces were put on DEFCON 2 alert for the first and only time in history. The missiles were ready to launch, soldiers were refused leave, and all military bases were put on alert.
I don't know, Wilson. I'm really scared, dude.
You're not normal.
On October 25th, a dozen Soviet ships turned back, but the preparations on the missile sites in Cuba hastened. A U-2 spy plane sent by America to observe the Cuban progress was shot down on October 27th, making the possibility of nuclear war even more likely.
Roger, Dodger. You two inbound. Let's get some music on here.
Dear Mr. Kennedy, I'm writing you this letter because I fear that the end may be near for both of our countries. A nuclear onslaught is what we don't want right now, especially with both of us being so powerful. I believe that if we end this now, we may be able to prevent any casualties. Choose wisely. I love you.
Dear Mr. Khrushchev, in response to your letter, I must say that I'm very proud that you've considered the situation we are in. To help neutralize the situation, I will remove the blockade as long as you remove the missiles that are currently in Cuba. I love you very much. XOXOXO. Kinky Kennedy. P.S. Your mother's pretty ugly.
Dear Mr. Kennedy, I'm very glad that you have finally given us an offer that we can accept. In return for moving our missiles from Cuba, we expect that you will remove yours from Turkey, and your childish insults mean nothing to me. Fatty McFat.
The Kennedy administration actually decided to ignore Khrushchev's second letter. Instead, they only responded to the first one. Neither Kennedy nor his advisors were confident that Khrushchev would accept their terms. They had over 100,000 battle-ready troops prepared in Florida if the negotiations fell through. On October 27th, Khrushchev received Kennedy's letter, as well as one from Castro, urging Russia to launch missiles at the U.S. because he feared an invasion in a matter of days. Khrushchev decided to extinguish the fire and broadcasted his decision over the radio. The Soviets would dismantle their missiles if the U.S. granted Cuban sovereignty. The Cuban Missile Crisis was over.